Hi, this is Myra with Boutique Paint. Thank you for joining me. Now, this could be something that could translate into a bigger heart. I know the dollar store a lot of times will have the big blanks like this, wooden blanks. So you could do it any size. I'm starting out with DIY's weathered wood, and I'm just going to take a stick. You could do this with a brush, but I'm just going to put the weathered wood onto the heart. I'm just kind of smearing it around. I know you're thinking already, are you kidding me? A brown heart? Think of it as chocolate. Just think about it as being chocolate for right now. It will not stay like this, I promise. One of my two favorite color combinations, and it's kind of odd, is brown and pink. I just think it really goes nicely together. Next, I'm going to take some salt wash. I'm just going to tap it around on top of the paint. Oop, that's a little much. You could also use the paint frosting to do this, thicken up the paint ahead of time. But basically what we're trying to go for here is some highs and lows with the paint and the salt wash. You can mix the salt wash in ahead of time. I just thought this would be a quick, as my girlfriend would call it, down and dirty way to do this. I flipped the stick so I didn't put the salt wash into my paint, since I'm going straight into the jar. But hopefully you can see there's quite a bit of texture with that. All right, I'm going to set this aside and let that dry. And with the salt wash, I like to not let it dry 100%. I find it is easier to sand down if it's not 100%. It just, for me, it's easier to work with. So now we're going to go ahead and get the pink on top. And this will probably take 2 coats to actually cover up the brown. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get this painted up and then hit it with a hairdryer and put the second coat on. So now that this is dry, I'm going to take a sanding block and I'm just going to go over the top of this lightly and bring out some of the brown that's underneath. And how much you bring out is completely up to you. And of course, it doesn't have to be brown. You could do the same effect with white. I just thought the brown would be kind of nice. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of the brown and I'm going to go around the edges. And once again, I'm going to use the stick. You could, once again, use a paintbrush. This is not something I'm striving to be perfect about. I just want it to have a little bit more brown showing through. So I dug around and found these cute little birds that I had poured quite a while ago. And I'll link below which mold they're out of because I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But I want to paint those pink. And these are kind of fun to paint because they're so tiny. It's kind of feels messy. And just be careful not to get too much paint on these little guys. Otherwise, you'll lose a lot of the detail because they are so tiny, but they're adorable. All right, these are dry. And then I found this piece, which was randomly, I keep everything in a box, anything that I've ever poured that I haven't used. And this just happened to be, it's got little roses. I don't even know what this is from. I'm going to have to look. But so anytime you're pouring resin and you have extra, pour it, even if it just makes a little tiny piece like this, because you never know when you might want to use it, throw it in a box. So I'm going to take a little bit of clear wax here. I'm going to get it all over these two pieces. I'm going to do the birds also because I'm using the pink, and it's the same color as the heart. I want the birds and this piece to stand out a little bit. So I'm putting the wax on so I can use some of this mica powder, and I'm using it out of that kit I had shown a couple weeks ago that came with 72 colors. But this is pale violet red, and it's just a really pretty color. So I'm just going to dust, and it makes it kind of sparkly. Just kind of a fun extra color. And this should really show up pretty on this. I love this piece. I honestly do not remember what that's off of, but I will try my hardest to find it and put it below. But look how pretty that is. It's just gorgeous. Let's go ahead and get this assembled. My ribbon ran off when I was blow drying the pieces. So what I want to do is I'm going to put a little dot of glue. It's not coming out great. And then I'm going to kind of loop it up a little bit. So just a little dollop of glue here. And then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to fold it to cut it in a V. Like that. Same with this side. I should have done this beforehand, but I wasn't sure how much I wanted hanging over. So I'm just folding it in half and then snipping it so it's in a V. Just like that. All right, now our little love birds here are going to go right here on each side. Careful not to burn yourself in this part. I don't know why. I still haven't found my other glue gun after the holidays. I keep forgetting to ask my daughter if she borrowed it. Might be over at her house. And then we'll do this little piece down here at the bottom. Just kind of hanging down. And that's our project. If you have any questions, you can go to our website at www.boutiquepaint.com. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.